Adam here with Brooksaw Antiques. Today we have this 1963 Olivetti Lettera 22 vintage ultra portable typewriter. I'm going to show you how to use the functions and make sure they all work. Made in Glasgow, Great Britain. These were also made in Spain and Italy, and it's one of the most iconic typewriters of all time. Won an award for the best technology of the past 100 years from the Institute of Technology in Chicago in the 1950s. And this and the Olivetti Lettera 32 are one of the most just iconic design and engineering machines of all time. Up top are the margins. This is your left margin. I'm going to set that on 0 and the right one around 75 to 80. And these are your paper support arms that flip up from the back. This is the paper bale that sits on top. It's got 2 adjustable rollers and a scale. And if you load the page in, it's straight. But if you load it in crooked, then you can use the paper release. Flip that forward and then straighten it out, see, like that. And then flip it back. And you have a straight page. You can do that with any typewriter. Once you hear the bell, you're near the end of the margin. Hit this line space, get you back to the beginning, and skips 1, 1.5, or 2 spaces. Well, it skips 1, 2 half spaces when it's on 2, 3 half spaces, and when it's on 3, 4 half spaces. There we go. We're just going to keep that on single for now and finish typing. I guess that's where my line should be. Nope. Let's try that again. These half spaces are hard to navigate through. As you can see, all the keys type nice and none of them skip or stick. I'll type a sentence in red on the next line. I switch from black to red. There's a switch on the right side. Flip that down to the red indicator. It prints the bottom portion of the ribbon, which is red. When you have it in the middle, it doesn't print any ink at all. It just leaves a stencil for copying purposes. And when you have it up top on the blue indicator, it prints the top portion of the ribbon, which is black. We're going to move that down for red. Beautiful. It's got this really cushiony, light touch to it, which is much different than the Olivetti Lettera 32. Print looks perfect. Pica typeface, prints 10 characters per inch. So this has an actual, it feels a little bit heavier touch than the Olivetti Lettera 32. So if you're trying to decide between the two and you don't really love the light touch, that the 32 is one of the lightest touches you can get. So for me, I'm not a writer, but when I'm typing on that, I make a lot of errors because it's so light. You barely touch the thing and it prints. To pull the page out easier, there's a switch on the right side. You flip it forward, unlocks the rollers underneath the platen, allowing you to pull the page out easier. Load thicker paper like carbon copy or cardstock. Make sure you flip that back before you load the next page, or else it won't load correctly, and that also allows you to straighten the page when you're loading it. We're going to flip these down for now, put the color back on black. Shift on each side and a shift lock on the left. To clear that, just hit the shift button again. This blank button here is not supposed to be a 1 key. That is your margin release. When you get to the end of the margin, there's a mechanism that blocks you from printing. Hit that margin release. It will allow you to type past that all the way to the end. The traditional 1 key for traditional typewriters is the lowercase l, and the exclamation point is Shift 8, which is the apostrophe, and then you backspace and put a period underneath it. And I think Olivetti, they went on kind of producing many different variations of this exact machine, and they never, even in the 70s, they never even put a 1 key in, as far as I know. This is your tab set and clear. Right now we have tab set on 10 space intervals, and this is how you hit the tab. That's how you get to the tabs. That's your tab button. So we're going to clear each one of these by flipping that switch up, and if you have a 32, it's the opposite direction to clear. So I'm just going to clear each one of them. So now we shouldn't have any tabs, but I always like to set one somewhere in the middle, so that way when you hit the tab button, it doesn't go slamming all the way to the end, causing wear and tear in your typewriter. So we're going to flip that down to set the tab. And it's the opposite for that as well. In the 32, it's down to clear and up to set. So that's working very good. We're going to pop the hood open from the front here like that. So that hooks down like this. Actually, it hooks in the back, and then it snaps into springs. So you want to pull it from the front and not the back. This is made out of cast iron, all metal cast iron, and it will break if you don't pull that off correctly. If you try to force that off from the back, these 2 hooks will break off. I've seen that happen many times. Also with this line space, this is made out of cast aluminum. That breaks too. It doesn't bend. All the brand new ribbons loaded on the left side, so it's pulling clockwise to the right. If you want to switch that direction manually, the side you want it to go to, you flip it to the middle. So in this case, I want to switch it to the right or the left side, so I'm going to flip, and it's meant to automatically catch the eyelet at the end of the ribbon and swap it back automatically. Automatic reverse. Pretty much every typewriter has some form of automatic reverse, and that's how you do it. And if you don't have eyelets, which is a little metal piece at the end of the ribbon, then you can tie a knot, and that should catch it. Touch control, very important on a light touch machine. The farther down you go with this, the more tension there is. It is on pretty high. It was on 2, I think. But if you have it on 1, it's less tension when you hit the keys. All the way down to 4, it's more tension. So with the Olivetti Letteras, you want to definitely play with those to gauge your preference. Like I said, on 32, it's super touchy on the light. So like a lot of people might not even know that they have a touch control, and sometimes it's up here on the top right and the inside. And once you figure that out, it can make your life a lot easier. Carriage release on both sides. This one has a super unique feel to it. It's riding on a rail instead of bearings. It's riding on this rod here. So on the 32, it's just got ball bearings inside that it rides on. This one just rides on that rail. It feels really unique, smooth. It's like barely any play there, so it just feels really good. A lot of older desktop machines use the rail. Then they all pretty much went to bearings. Push the button at the end of the knob. It disables the spacing so you can get to an exact spot on the page. You let it go, you get the clicks. Each one of those clicks is a half a space. Same concept when you move this line space selector all the way back to 0, disables the spacing. Move it to the 1, you get the clicks. And this tucks back when you have it in the case, so you don't break that. Like I said, it's cast aluminum. And these things are extremely difficult to replace. They didn't make these easily replaceable. This top side has a screw that you can just replace this with, but if you break it, a lot of times it breaks right in there. Then you have to remove a pin in there that's extremely hard to get out, and then you have to find a replacement, which they don't make anymore. So you have to get a parts machine or somebody that's selling the parts. This is your carriage lock. Flip that up to lock the carriage. Flip it down. There we go. Just kind of help it out. That'll lock the carriage in the middle, so when you have it in a case, you don't damage the escapement. Flip it up to unlock it. And that's it. Now available on eBay or Etsy. Search Brooksaw Antiques.